A quadratic equation is a polynomial equation with a highest exponent of 2. That's also called a second-degree polynomial equation. If we're asked to solve the equation, that means we're looking for any number which we could substitute for the variable to make a true statement. So what do you think? Do you know any of the solutions for this equation? Oh, okay, so let's see if your guess of 1 is right. We'll check that by substituting 1 in for all the x's in the equation and simplify to see if we have a true statement. Does 8 equal 0? No, it doesn't. So unfortunately, your guess of 1 is not correct. Do you have another guess? Oh, -2. Okay, well, let's see if that makes this equation true. We'll substitute -2 for all the x's and simplify. -1 does not equal 0, so -2 is not a solution. Are you giving up? Well, finding the solution by guessing is probably not the most efficient way. But there is another way we can solve this quadratic equation, and that's by factoring. Now, in order to do that, we'll have to make sure that our equation is in standard form and it's factorable. And our equation is in standard form and it is factorable. Once we factor the polynomial side of the equation, we have two factors that multiply to give us 0. That means we can use the zero product property to find the solution. One of those two factors, or maybe both of the factors, have to equal 0 for this equation to be true. So either x plus 3 is 0 or x plus 1 is 0, which means x is either -3 or x is equal to -1. That's a whole lot easier than guessing, isn't it? Now let's go ahead and check our solutions and see if they both make our equation true. So for the -3, we'll substitute -3 in for all the x's in our equation and simplify, and then see if we have a true statement. 0 equals 0? Absolutely, that's true. And to check -1, we'll do the same thing. Substitute -1 for the variable x and simplify to see if we have a true statement. Once again, yep, 0 equals 0. So we know that our two solutions for our quadratic equation are x equals -3 or x equals -1. Now let's try one more. Let's see if we can solve x squared minus 3x equals 40 by factoring. The first thing we need to notice is that this equation is not in standard form. It's easy to put it in standard form, though. We'll just subtract 40 from both sides of the equation. And now that it is in standard form, we can factor the equation, set each factor equal to 0, and then solve both of those equations to get our two solutions. Remember, it's really important that you make sure your equation is in standard form before you start that factoring, because we're using the zero product property to find our solutions. Now that we've got our solutions, let's go ahead and check. So for the 8, we can substitute 8 in for the x's in our original equation, simplify, and let's see, 40 equals 40? Absolutely, that's true. And for x equals -5, we'll do the same thing. Substitute -5 in our original equation and simplify. And once again, we've got a true statement, 40 equals 40. So we have found two solutions to our quadratic equation, 8 and -5. We did that by factoring once the equation was in standard form.